Hi, welcome to another video. My name is Ilse and today I bring you another video where I'm going to tell you what are my favorite books of 2016. This is a very controversial video because a lot of people, they kind of I don't want to offend anyone with the oh my gosh, you didn't include this book, oh my god, why didn't you include this book, and what, you know what I mean? But really, like I said in the previous videos, I haven't really been reading a lot, and I really haven't read most of the new releases and stuff like that. Some, not all, but these are the books that, on my own opinion, I feel like were the best for me for this year, and I'm really excited to show you of one of my favorites of this year. I'm really excited to read a lot of other books next year to see which are my favorites, and I'm just gonna tell you what they are right now. Hopefully they're not really a lot, actually. They're really less than 10 books, but I'm really excited with the books that I read this year, and I couldn't be more happy with the books I'm going to show you right now. So let's get on with it. I read this early 2016, and this came out last year actually, but it's still one of my favorite books of this year, and it's one of my favorite series, and definitely one of my favorite series. So that is Winter by Marissa Meyer, which is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I'm just so excited that I read this because it was so good. I really enjoy the characters, I enjoy the storyline, the plot, everything. If you have not picked this up, please go read it. It's basically fairy tale retellings about Cinderella, Riding Hood, Rapunzel, and Snow White, and they have a very certain turn of events, and I just really love this book. Like I said, this came out a year ago. I read it not last year, I read it early this year, and I just couldn't be more happier. And I got the Target edition because it has the drawing, the fun arts and stuff. Either way, I'm just really excited for this book. So if you have not read the series, please go. This is one of my favorite books of 2016. Another favorite of this year, that I was not quite sure if I was gonna like, because there was a lot of hype for this book, I think 2 years ago, 2015, and I read it early this year, and that is I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson. It had a lot of hype, Christine from Paul and Bananas Books was reading it. I think also Katie at Katie Tastic was reading it, and then Clau at Clau Reads Books, which is a Mexican booktuber, is actually one of her books, and I just didn't know if I was gonna love it as much as those people, because I am not a huge fan of young adult contemporary books, and this is a young adult contemporary book, but oh my god, did it surprise me and became one of my favorite books of this year. If you have not picked this up, please go do that, because it's just amazing. It's told in a very peculiar and very poetic type of way, and the characters, the development between those two characters is just outstanding and amazing. And this follows a gay character also, and I just what else can you want in a book? It talks about art in a way that I did not think art could be described, and it's just amazing, and I love the cover, and the book is just amazing. So this is definitely one of my favorite books of 2016. So if you have not read this, please go read it. It's amazing. It's about two siblings who are twins, and they kind of drifted apart because of a certain thing that happened, and it's basically them, it's told into two different perspectives, one from the girl and one from the boy, and towards the book at the end, they follow this storyline, and then they meet at a certain point, and that's when things happen, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful, and I think you all should read it. So this is one of my faves. Another book that is one of my favorites for this year is actually The Young Elites by Mary Lou. I did not think that this was gonna make the list, to be honest, but thinking back on it, it's literally one of the most fun reads I've had. Well, not one, one of the many, but this is so fun because the storyline, or the character that this story follows, is an anti-hero, and I've never read an anti-hero before, at least not that I can think of it right now at the top of my head, and I really enjoyed it. So much that I read the second book right after I finished this, well, a few weeks later after I finished this, and after I finished the second book, I was just what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I already have the third book waiting for me to read it and finish it. The series, I have not do that, but I'm gonna do it soon. And this is just an amazing, amazing book. This follows a girl who has been, well, I don't know how to explain this really. Let me try to explain it. Go back. This book follows a character that has been struck by a disease. Like the disease in the place that they live, they had this disease and so a lot of people died. But some of those people that were caught with the disease did not die. They received special powers or special abilities, and the people from the town or the world don't really like them and they want them gone. So it's basically them rebelling towards those people, and this follows that one of those main characters, the girl, and she's an anti-hero because she starts, I don't want to say she starts as a villain because she's not, but she is kind of made into a villain towards the book, and it's just so, I don't know how to describe it. It's just so good. I think you guys should give it a try. If it's not for you, then that's okay. But I feel like you should read one of this a try. And if you have read the Legend series by Meyer, I think you're gonna love it. So that's just a lot to say. Another book that should not surprise anyone that made the list is obviously Lady at Midnight by Cassandra Clare. If you're surprised that this book is in this list, you don't know me at all. You don't know me. I've been a fan of the Shadowhunter world for 4 years now. I think I read the first book back in 2013, I think, and I fell in love with the world, the characters, and this follows, oh my god, this follows right after the Mortal Instruments, and this follows new characters, the Blackthorns, and I just couldn't, I cannot even explain this book. Like you would know how much I love this book. Like I tapped it the shit out of this book. I don't know what else I can tell you because I feel if I tell you what it's about, I'll spoil a lot of things. But I feel like this is worth the shot to read. I know it's a chunky book. It's a chunky book. Let's face it, it's a chunky book. But I just love this book. I made the list because I love the world and I love the characters. And the characters, all the characters in this book are just so amazing. Like I cannot even begin to describe how amazing they are. It had to make the list. It's this series, this world is just in my heart always. And I am excited for Lord of Shadows, which we already have a cover for, and I'm excited and scared at the same time because I don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah, if you have not read any of the Mortal Instruments series, I think you should. They're worth it. Yes, it takes a lot of time to get into the world or the characters. Some of the characters are annoying at first, but then, you know, character development guys, it happens. I promise you, it happens. Another book that is my fave for this year. It's really no surprise. It has not, well actually it surprised me because I did not know if I was gonna like it. I was very scared. And I don't know, people were comparing it to the Shatter Me series, and if you guys know, I despise that series so much. Like, I think it's one of my least hated series of all time. I know I'm probably offending people, but I'm trying not to. For my own opinion, I just don't like the series either way. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and I love this book. I loved it. I cried. Yes, I cried with this book. I don't know if you guys cry, but I'm a crier, and I couldn't. Gretchen from Chuck Norris, her blog, I'll post it down below. I was sending her updates as I was reading this, and oh my god, was the feels real. The feels were real. I read this in 2 sittings. I almost didn't sleep because of this book, and I just couldn't. This is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy series, I think. They recently said that there were going to be more books, and I mean, I guess I'm okay with that because there's going to be more reads, but at the same time, I'm scared because I don't know what's going to happen. Either way, I love this book. The first book is basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I don't know where this book follows that, but I think it just went the other way around. Either way, this follows right after the first book, and I'm just so excited for the third book next year. I don't know what's gonna happen. Scared and excited, but mostly scared, and because of the things that happened in this book. And I just loved it. I have no words for it. Now, it wouldn't be a favorite list if I did not have this author in one of this list because, let's face it, she's one of my favorite authors, and I think you all know which author that is, and that is Colleen Hoover. And this is It Ends With Us, which is her most latest release, I think. And I think this came out in August, the 2nd of August. And I love this book. I think this might be one like really close to Ugly Love, when Ugly Love is one of my, I think is my all-time favorite book by her. I think mostly because this is very personal to her. This follows a girl named Lily, and she's trying to open up her flower shop, and she meets a neurosurgeon, and her name is, Ryle. I kind of forgot his name now. His name is Ryle, but things happen. Life's not easy. Things get in the way, and if you have read Colleen Hoover, as any other Colleen Hoover, you have that emotional, heart-wrenching scenes. And this is just one of them. And I think the reason why this is one of my favorites, or almost close to Ugly Love, is because it's a story that is very close to Colleen Hoover's life. What I mean that is that it's very personal to her, and I think that just gives it more value to me. And and it's important. I feel like this book is very important for everybody to read, especially women. And if you have not read this, I think you should. I actually I lent it to a friend from work. She read it in like 3 days, and she was like, it'll say, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. I'm in love with Colleen Hoover, I'm in love with her writing, and I just need more. And she bought Ugly Love on her Kindle, so she's reading that at the moment, or I think she's reading that. But needless to say, I think this is a very, very important book to read, and I loved it. And last, but certainly not least, one of my favorite books of 2016 is Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I love this book. I love the series. I really, really do. I feel like they have a lot of potential, and I'm so excited because I think the first book is going to become a movie, and I'm just like, Gemina, I think this is the latest book that I read, actually. Yeah, if I'm filming this, this is the latest book that I read. And I really, really enjoyed it. If you have not read Illuminate, I think you should. It's amazing. I think you read pretty fast, and I also heard that the audiobooks are really good. So if you don't have time to be sitting down and reading, then I guess you should buy the audiobook and try listening to it and stuff like that. And yeah, but this is definitely all my favorites of 2016. That's it. Those are all the books that are my favorite of 2016. I know they're not a lot. Like I said, I didn't really read a lot of new releases or a lot of books, but I'm really happy with the books that I read. The list is very short, but they made me feel something, and some of them are continuance of other series that I love, and I'm just so excited for 2017 and to see what other books are going to be my faves. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, what are your favorite books of 2016? Please tell me down below, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when